They're not changing their underwear. They're not bathing. They're not using soap when they do bathe. This comment says if they're not changing their underwear, then I would think that they aren't bathing. But so many people got upset with me when I had started on TikTok years ago and my first video went viral talking about we know when you come into your waxing appointment, specifically for Brazilian waxing, that you've had intimate activities before you come in. You don't bathe. You don't change your underwear. This we know. So we have a physician that comes on that I stitched the video to giving stats on people who don't change their underwear for days because they publicly agreed to do the survey. And I've been saying this my entire career. People don't bathe. They don't change their underwear. They don't wash. They don't use soap. And then there's always the poop butts on top of the not washing, on top of not changing their underwear. You see how it's all connected? And then they show up for appointments to get their Brazilian wax or to be in public places where people find out that they don't have great personal care. So yes. Yep.
I don't want no one to feel no type of way of what I'm about to say, but let's start taking care of that personal hygiene before you lay on my bed for a wax. There is no reason why you have cottage cheese built up in the front and spit balls in the back. Okay, Dookie Butt? Go to the bathroom, start washing your before you come in for your appointment because at this point it's highly unexcusable. Y'all are 20 plus years old. There's no reason why I'm seeing these things when I'm trying to remove hair. I'm not wiping you down, but I will tell you to excuse yourself to go take care of yourself. Serving that to somebody, you should be embarrassed. They need to be embarrassed for taking it, but you need to be embarrassed for even offering it, okay? Let's do better, ladies. Let's do better.
They're not changing.
Man, when I tell you, I know so many horror stories we can discuss from forget dermatologists, physicians. But it's just like, how do you go to these places, especially like when you see dermatology, you're like, okay, you are a person that's focused on beauty and health. Anytime I see somebody go to a dermatologist, doctor, that's different. That's Joe Smo from down the street or somewhere. He got a little cancer bump. He ain't doing nothing. He don't care. You're going to expect that. But people that's like clear example, I know a couple of dermatologists, well, a few actually. They got people in their office, hundreds of thousands of social media followers, 1 million followers, 2 million followers. Popular people that I have seen, they said that the person came and wiped their butt. They coming in here. They the night before they got cum stains all on their stuff. And I have to sit there and wipe them down. And I was just like they're a baby? And it's like, yeah, so that is disgusting. Like, these are people when you 18 plus, I'm sorry, no. 18 plus, come on. Like, I've never had that. Even when I like travel, I don't usually use the like public restrooms because, they be nasty as hell. But like Delta has one of the best like restrooms ever. Like, you go to the Delta thing and they have like the shower section. And they also have like the toilet in there. They give you 30, 45 minutes, do whatever you need to do. That I have to take a full shower. I got to go in there. I got to sprinkle that water down there and slap it. All that, I cannot. I just don't get. And that's why when even when I'm on a plane and when I sit down, I look at the seat before I sit down because I've seen stains on seats. And I take my Lysol wipes. I probably got some somewhere. I'll take them and I'll wipe the seat down. And everybody's looking at me. I'm just like, dude, I've seen people farting. I've seen people pissing. I've seen people poop on the seats. All this, throw up everything. And I'm not sitting in that. Even when people I've seen people flicking book. I wipe down all this. So people think I'm crazy. I said it's just hygiene.
No.
What do you think?
The whole like, you're going in for a wax. You obviously care about like the looks and like you would think that hygiene would go hand in hand. It's like, bitch, don't even bother getting it waxed if you can't fucking clean yourself. Just look like a Neanderthal and fucking roam around because bitch, you can't even wipe the dookie out your ass.
That's nasty.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Just like I could not even imagine being, people coming in, and it's not like a once in a blue moon. They're saying that it happens often. So it's just like each time, and you're like, oh. That's so like grody.
Oh, I don't know if you ever like when I was in college, and I ain't trying to put no people on blast, but a lot of those sports players, because I used to stay at when I was with the KS, stay at the Jayhawk Towers, and that's where a lot of sports players stayed at. Them and like business professionals, graduates, etc. And when I tell you, they would have like parties and stuff, and I was like, okay, how you having parties? Somebody got stains all in their drawers. I said, this is gross. And I knew some of the girls that used to have sex with some of the dudes, and they were like, oh, it was big and everything, but they had an odor and everything. He don't wipe very well. I said, but you still did it though.
Yeah, you're gonna catch an
I'm
infection.
just like, it's just like hygiene for people in 2025 is just mind-boggling to me. Like when I went to Cuba, I was so impressed by the people in Cuba because they don't have their water's not like, filtered or clean. I mean, it's because of just the region. But I will not tell you that the people had the most impeccable hygiene, went to the gym. One thing I did not like is that they don't wipe down the seat after they're done. They would just
Mm-hmm.
sit on it too, and before wiping it down. I just can't do that. But I will say this, there was no odors. There was no smells. I was like, they really took care of their hygiene. And I was really impressed. I said, the people in America can't even do that. We got free clean water,
Mm.
and we don't people out here don't even bathe. Like and even this is another thing. Some of the biggest people, even some people that's on my page that used to be friends, don't clean themselves very well.
Yeah, hydrogen is a freaking. I mean, you would think, yeah, it's just like a common sense thing, but people just they don't, and some people just don't smell themselves too. And it's like, how could
Oh,
you not
why?
smell your own? Yeah, I notice immediately if there's like, I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
my
I'm a
deodorant wore off. Like, I'm like, okay, that's me. Or is that some stinky other person next to me? I had oh my gosh, in college, I had
oh
a
college.
roommate. Obviously, I'm not gonna say who, but it was this guy, a straight guy, and he did not change his underwear for like 1 to 2 weeks.
Oh
And the
wow.
only reason why I know this is because he stole a pair of my underwear and he was wearing mine because his underwear was all dirty and trashed. And I was like, because he slept, the beds are close together. It's a dorm, old school dorm style. And he was always like sleeping. And I noticed that he had my underwear on one day and I was like, what the fuck? And then he had the same pair on for days on days. It was disgusting. And some people just don't. And I told the other people, like the friends in like the other dormitory, the other straight guys, they're like, that's fucked. So they went and stole everything from out of his room, all of his clothes, all of his stuff. And they're like, until you bathe and start cleaning, like you're not getting anything back. I was like, it's so gross.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. But
I mean, it's,
what I always like to do, as always, we're gonna go read these comments. This was posted by Kiss of Paradise, but I don't think she commented on anything. Jeannie Jeanette 16 says, I've seen a video encourage women that it's okay to get a wax on your period too. Oh no, I
oh,
can't imagine. That's nasty. That's nasty. Naturo said, "Oh my God." Sharice said, "Please God, tell me this isn't real." It's real, Sharice. Like, I know some of the finest people. I had to tell somebody that I was talking to one time. That we was about to be intimate or whatever, and I went there. I said, "The fuck is this?" I said, "Nah, nah, go wash up." And then the person got offended that I told them to go wash up. I was like, I mean, come on now. That's not cool. Popular person. Popular.
dang.
Um, Black and Indigenous 7, that's beyond trifling. Alex HND 32. I don't understand taking a shit and not bathing afterwards. My mind cannot comprehend it. I'm at a total loss. Didn't I tell you I do this?
Yep.
Like it's like you gotta take a full shower when you get out of there. I'm gonna put a like on that. LB Nola says, I need a breakdown of the demographics. Well, we ain't gonna even go there. And then Magic Mama 222 said, I saw a video just yesterday of a lady that says she quit washing her booty 2 years ago. I don't know if it was satire or not, but I prayed it was. Yeah, and there was a video, I think it was Chelsea Handler, the comedian. She had went on, she was talking to some girls regarding like hygiene and stuff, and some girls like, oh, I don't wash my legs and my back. And I'm just like, yuck. Like, how you not? I mean, it's it's not that hard. Even your back, like, well, I got long arms, so I can reach back there, but also you have loofahs and scrubs. You can scrub. I'm just like, hygiene is so important. It's the reason why people keep thinking that like the fleas cause the Black Death and stuff. I said it was more to it than that. You have to get into hygiene practices that was happening around Great Britain. They weren't.
Mhm.
They was throwing raw food and vegetation. So these fleas are feeding on all the stuff and their poop and stuff that they were tracking in the streets. I said even people used to put on their finest gowns and they were tracking into their house. I said, I mean, you can't blame the flea for something that the people actually caused. So it's just like these things right here. But we'll be talking about this in a future episode. So tune in next time for more.
Yeah.